Wiseman here. Hope you're having an awesome day. Today, or in this video, what I wanted to talk about was, this is for the people that are very, very busy but want optimal, ultimate health in the shortest amount of time possible. So today I'm going to be talking about strength training and the first ever client that I had, which was 17, 18 years ago now. It was one of my best friends. I'd gone through and learnt all the different stuff, physiology, anatomy, all the strength training stuff, and learned about abbreviated weight training, which is probably very different from what most people watching this would have heard of before. It's quite amazing how you don't actually have to do that much weight training to get enormous results, particularly if you're doing it correctly though. This is the key. Technique is number one, always. But you have to have, it sounds quite obvious when you say it, but to get strong, the purpose of doing strength training or weights is to get strong. So to get strong, you have to lift heavy weights. A lot of people talk about doing lots of repetitions, etc. That's great and that's good initially when you're learning, but you're only going to get a certain amount of strength from that. Otherwise, you're going into muscular endurance. If you're wanting to get strong, you've got to lift heavy weights. Sounds quite simple, and it is. So anyway, I've learned all the different stuff. This quick story is on my best friend. It still wasn't resonating with me totally because of my conditioning from the past. But anyway, I set up a real little gym in my garage at the time, living in Queensland. Got my best friend round and started training him as a client. So this will spin you out, but once again, if you take the emotion out of it, and if you're a busy person that wants the maximum strength results in the shortest time possible, then this is for you to listen to. If you're a person that loves strength training, you love going to the gym all the time, that is awesome. Keep doing what you're doing, that's all good. But this is for the people that want to get the maximum results in the shortest physical time possible. So I'll cut straight to the point. I train my best friend for 30 minutes once a week, right? I'm going to tell you the progressions. He started off doing, I remember the very first session he did on the main set. This is after a warm-up. We all did warm-ups in all of these sets. After a warm-up, he did 6 chin-ups, and that was the maximum result he could get in the first session. He did squats, I think it was 60 kilos, and we did 15 reps, and then for bench press it was like 50 kilos for 10 reps. That was the very first session. That's all the strength training he did for the whole week. He'd go play football, he'd go surfing, etc. Go do plenty of other cardio stuff in between, but that was the only strength training session, once a week for 30 minutes with me. There was a warm-up set, a stretch, and then a work set till he could not do any more on those 3 exercises. In 8 weeks, he went from 6 chin-ups on the first session to 32 chin-ups in 8 weeks. Every week, all he focused on was doing 1 more. Quite often he'd do 2 more or 3 more. It was amazing for me to see because I'd learnt all this stuff. I hadn't done it actually myself. I was doing it at the same time, but it was blowing my mind that this guy went from 6 chin-ups to 32 chin-ups in 8 weeks. That's a massive increase in strength. His squats went from 60 to, I think we ended up getting to about 120. Squats for 15 reps in about that same amount of time. Bench press went from 50 up to about 90 in that same amount of time. So you think of how strong, flexible, etc., the joints, the bones, everything of one of my best mates was at that time. And then 8 weeks later, through only investing 30 minutes of his time, he increased his strength that much. What would that do for all the other areas of his life? And once again, it's hardly any time at all, but we did it with perfect technique, the right intensity, plenty of recovery in between, and that's his strength training taken care of. So there is so many benefits to strength training, but basically I've got a little list here. In 30 minutes once a week, you can achieve all of these results are possible, or all of these gains are possible. Increase lean body mass, increase bone mineral density, faster fat burning and leaner physique, Increased functional strength. We did all functional exercises that replicate daily life. Increased power and sporting performance. His football was getting better and better, and surfing, etc. Joint stability, quality of life, vitality, increased metabolism, better posture, decreased risk of osteoporosis, injury, decreased risk of degeneration of the joints, decreased blood pressure, decreased risk of type 2 diabetes. All that for 30 minutes once a week. But you have to have someone there that knows what they're doing to keep an eye on you to get great technique. And I've never ever, in my 18 years of being a trainer and a coach and coaching trainers and running my own businesses, I've never ever seen one person not get stronger, significant strength gains, whether they were 15 or whether they were 75 from this way of strength training. But what's more sustainable as well? I'm asking you. Long term, I'm talking 20, 30 years or longer. What's more sustainable? Going to the gym 3 times a week for an hour? Once again, if you're that person that loves strength training, then awesome. Most people aren't. And so what's more sustainable? 30 minutes quality once a week, or even once every 10 days over a lifetime, or trying to get there an hour a week, 3 times a week. Majority of the population are not going to be motivated for that amount of time. So find someone that can help you in that department, or contact me and I can talk you through it and walk you through it.